We've made it. The playoffs are officially here. Lots of questions surrounding the seeding and brackets. We're not going to go there. 4 wins gets you to Camp Randall for a shot at a state title.
And last season, Verona got out of the first round for the first time since 2016 and advanced to level 3.
This year, they've got plans to go even further, starting with Kenosha Bradford.
The Cats entered a perfect 9-0, and they had no plans of changing that tonight. First drive of the game, and the Wildcats wallop the ball out from the Bradford back, and we've got a fumble! After some scrapping, Miles Dawkins comes up with it, and just like that, they're knocking on the door to score, which Austin Perez is pretty good at. He takes the handoff, and whoop! He's in to the end zone. Verona takes a quick 7-0 lead, and then not much later, in fact, not even halfway through the first quarter, they wanted more. Caleb Hallmark puts a stamp on this story early, finds Aiden Chapman, who's into the end zone for the touchdown. Verona takes it 48-0, the final. Well, it has been a banner year for Memorial. They finished second in the Big 8 and enter the postseason on a 5-game win streak.
2019 was the last time the Spartans won a playoff game. That year, they reached level 4. To Mansfield we go. Memorial opening up with Spash. First possession was a good one for the Spartans. They're knocking on the door, and Cam Parker shows off his strength. In for the tutty. Memorial goes up 6-0. Then they'd go to the air. Owen Fiedler sets his feet, chucks it deep to Jordan Elliott. Give me that. He mosses a dude on his way in for the score. Just like that, it's a 2-score game. Then later in the half, more Memorial. Marion Moore, not one, but 2 stiff arms, and he's in for 6. The Spartans on to level 2 with a 33-21 win. They'll face DC Everest next week. And staying in Division 1, both Waunakee and Middleton won their playoff openers, so the two will meet next week with a spot in level 3 on the line. Back in 2022, remember, they also met in level 2. Warriors won that game by 7.
And in Division 2, Sun Prairie East is moving on with a 55-20 win over Ashwaubenon. They'll face West De Pere next week. While Monona Grove, they held off Menominee, winning 34-31. The Silver Eagles will get Rice Lake, who beat DeForest.
More from Division 2. Milton makes the most of their first shot, winning 24-7. They'll advance to play Elkhorn, who knocked off Monroe. Plus, how about this? Beaver Dam goes up to Menasha and leaves with a 35-21 win for their first playoff win since 2011. Well, last year, Mount Horeb-Barneveld saw their perfect season come to an end, 2 wins shy of a trip to Camp Randall.
And this year, the Vikings are back with a vengeance. MHB has been rolling in all 3 phases. Sauk Prairie looking to play spoiler tonight. MHB already leading 14-0, but they were just getting started. Jack Wilson wants it, and he's got it into the end zone for the touchdown, 21-0 Vikings. And later, well, MHB well within striking distance once more. This time they turn to the air. Brooks Hendrickson throwing against his body, and it doesn't matter because Hayden Anderson is there, and he's into the end zone, 28-0 MHB, and they still weren't ready for halftime. It's Hendrickson again, this time turning to his trusty wideout. Tyrus Hastings trots in for 6. The Vikings win it 36-6. They'll get Waterford in level 2. Well, it's safe to say Columbus doesn't rebuild. They just reload year after year. Since 2021, they've been making deep runs in the postseason.
That year, they reached the semifinals. In 2022, they won it all. And last season, it was the quarters. This year, the Cardinals are primed for another run, opening up with Arcadia. First quarter, Columbus on the move. Connor Roche straight up the gut to make it 7-0 home team. And they were far from done lighting up that scoreboard. Second quarter now, more Roche. This time, a little shorter run, same result. That makes it 23-0. And you know what? Number 1 can catch 2. Later in the quarter, Peyton Powers drops a tutty dime on him. Columbus moves on with a 52-0 win. They'll get West Salem next week. Well, staying in Division 4, Lodi knocked off Wisconsin Dells to advance to level 2. Up next for the Blue Devils, Aquinas, who beat Edgewood tonight. Now, Evansville shut out Edgerton 21-0. That sets up a date with Lake Mills next Friday. The Elcats took down St. Francis 57-6.
Darlington is headed back to level 2 thanks to a 42-14 win over Richland Center. The Redbirds are our only area team to advance in Division 5. The Redbirds also will face Milwaukee Academy of Science next week. It has been quite the turnaround this season for Cambridge. Through 5 weeks, they already matched their win total from last year.
The Blue Jays looking to match that legendary 1979 team when it's all said and done. Remember, they won that title. We weren't born yet. Well, up first is Belleville in Level 1, and those Wildcats came to play. No score in the first. Logan Durkee rumbles in from a few yards out to make it 6-0 Belleville. And Durkee was a busy man tonight. Same score in the second. It's 28 again, and again he runs over a couple of Blue Jays for the score. That makes it 13-0. Then later in the quarter, the Wildcats get tricky. Brennan Keys fakes out everyone with the keeper. He's in for 6, and Belleville is on to Level 2. They'll face Marshall next Friday. Well, it was a SWAL rematch in Division 6, and it went exactly like Week 4 went for the Cubans. Cuba City beats Mineral Point by 1 to set up another regular season rematch with Lancaster next week.
And if you're wondering why 2 of the best teams in Division 7 play each other in the first round of the playoffs, I think we're wondering the same thing. Potosi Cassville takes down Blackhawk Warren in back-to-back weeks, and they shut out Randolph. Ithaca shuts out Randolph 7-0. That sets up a date with Johnson Creek, who beat Royal tonight. And Cambria Friesland, they also moved on with a 48-12 win over Hillsborough.
But you know what? Don't go anywhere.